I'll signal you when to start walking to me, Cameron and Jesse. All right. I would guess may be seated. Dear beloved people, Cameron and Jessica, I would guess keep holding hands right there for me, okay? Thank the two of you and your friends for joining us here at the world famous Full White Wedding Chapel and allowing for us to be a part of your celebration, a decade of matrimony and unconditional love. Because you've done about 10 years. You've seen the seasons change 10 times. And you know, Cameron, and by the way, and all those are joining us via the internet, they're going to get a shout of this also. Some other people are going to look and say, you know, Cameron robbed the cradle. He did it, that's for sure. And Jessica is so humble. Say, Jessica, you're retired? Oh, no. Well, yes, of course, but she's so humble with that at this point in time. It's wonderful to have young marriage and young love that is still refreshing and the joy that is in it. And understand there's a child also that you have. How old is your child? 9 years old. You guys are wonderful. That's a testimony to you. And let me say that your child gets the opportunity to know what a mother and father are, what a grown man and grown woman happen to be, and what parents are. That really gives a foundation for the child. Absent of that, many children don't have that, and as a result of that, their foundation is not there. And the formative years end up being disrupted, and the formative years really make up the bulk of our life. By 10 years old, 90% of that child's personality is developed. So who the child is going to be is developed the first 10 years. And you all lay that foundation, and without that, that child, you know, and the child owe you so much, but won't realize until much later on. And is a boy or a girl?
Girl.
A girl, and so she gets unconditional love. Her first unconditional love is from her father.
Yes.
And that's the best way for that to happen. So in this way, nobody can fool her about what it is, but if she didn't even know what unconditional love was, it makes her so vulnerable to the other gender of men because she wouldn't know what it is, and then she's susceptible to be, as they say, hoodwinked and bamboozled. But she also gets to see how a woman operates and how a mother operates, and with her husband. She understands what the value of her husband is, how to relate, and all of those things really help them begin to see the both aspects of life. The yin and the yang of life is what they really get a chance to see. And so that's a testimony because the cities and towns are made up of families. And those cities and towns turn into states and they turn into countries. So what is a country made up of? It's made up of families. And your nation is stronger because you are part of that ethos that makes up the nation. But this is about your 10 years of unconditional love because you have to love each other unconditionally to make it 10 years. And obviously, I was saying to Jessica earlier, you can tell when a woman has been well taken care of because it reflects who she is, her happiness and her joy. And of course, quite frankly, Cameron, under those situations, the married men to women like that, they live anywhere from 7 to 11 years longer than single men do. So there's some benefits that are in there for you at this point in time. Now, of course, Jessica can say, ooh, just raise the bar. You'll thank me for that later at this point in time. But that's very valuable. The married woman, she experiences less stress, greater security, thereby better health. Now, women, for whatever the reason, happen to be naturally live longer than men. But we also know that married couples live longer than single people do because of that relationship there of social, human beings are social creatures. So having someone to interact and share with and share your experiences in your life and your struggles with, these are things that really give us a confident convenience that is just invaluable. And if we had to pay for it, we couldn't get it. But the investment that God gives us in terms of that relationship allows for us to experience joy and happiness and peace and tranquility. And these are also spiritual states. But we are actually spiritual creatures. We're just not physical creatures. The physical body is a manifestation of the spirit that is inside that dwells within. Your two spirits have come together, and your complementary opposites allows for them to fit together at the biological level. The joy and happiness, peace and tranquility, I'm sure has to come with patience. Because in order to make it 10 years, you have to be patient. How you treat, how you interact, and you can tell them the secret of how they interact with each other that way, because it will be in their expressions, it will be in their relationship of understanding. And I can also see in 10 years, there's an experience that's called the Michelangelo phenomenon. I'm going to mention the phenomenon to you. Then I'm going to leave it there because I want you to find out. It's going to take you probably about 35 to 40 years to see it. But I'm only going to mention to you, the day when you see it, or the day when somebody say it to you, say, oh, that's what the minister was speaking back in 2013 when we renewed our vows. So now it gives you some incentive. You're going to stay together now so you can see it. Now, a hint, though, is from Michelangelo. He was a sculptor. So it's all connected to that, okay? So I'm gonna just plant that seed right there, and they're gonna be spending years saying, what is that? And when you see it, bam, Now, actually, you may see it in someone else that has gone further down the road than you. You may see it in them, and that'll get it to you. But it'll take you a while. But take your time with that. Be patient, and also compromise. I'm sure that compromise has been a part of this marriage. Happy wife is a happy life, I'm Karen.
Yes, sir.
It does work like that, and that's the compromise.
That's right, exactly.
See life through her lens, you're gonna be happy at that point in
Right.
time. But you two willing to continue to live like that?
Yes, absolutely.
Rings now are a testimony that you're married, but how you treat one another, that's the indicator that you're in love. And Jessica, you know, when you see a couple, and a man and woman, they're together, whether they're married or not, if you see them together and they're in love, can you recognize it?
I think so.
Young lady yourself? You can see it.
Yes.
Let your marriage be like that. Allow for your marriage. Let your marriage continue to be the type of marriage that people would say when they see you, they're in love. I mean, we can tell it right there in chapel when we see it. Let it continue to be like that. I'm sure those expressions are there because it'll keep your hearts bonded. Cameron, if you continue to treat her like you're her lover while you are a husband, but remember how you wooed her and wined her and dined and all those things that you were doing to get her to marry?
Yeah.
They keep doing them things, man. That'll keep her heart bonded to you. And Jessica, you know how to work your magic. Obviously, I can tell. Okay.